you ever feel like you're doing all the right things, but something still feels off inside? Like you're tired, anxious, overwhelmed, and yet you can't figure out why? It's not always the big dramatic stuff that tears us down. Sometimes it's the small, innocent habits. The ones that seem harmless, even productive, but are actually draining your peace, your focus, and honestly, your soul. That's what we're talking about today. 5 innocent habits. Things we all do without even noticing. But through the lens of Stoic philosophy, you'll see how they quietly chip away at your happiness and strength. And don't worry, this isn't going to be some cold lecture on ancient philosophy. It's going to be simple, relatable, and if you've ever read a quote by Marcus Aurelius and thought, whoa, that actually hits, then you're in the right place. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked the video, so you can help me continue spreading Stoic philosophy. If you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do so and activate the bell so you don't miss any future videos on Stoicism. All right, let's get into it. You might be surprised how many of these habits are secretly sabotaging your peace. All right, let's talk about habit number 1. And this one's sneaky because it feels responsible, even smart, but it's quietly wrecking your peace. Overthinking everything. Let's start with a habit that feels like you're just being careful or smart, but it's slowly wrecking your peace. Overthinking. We've all been there. You send a message to someone, they take a little longer to reply, and suddenly your brain goes into detective mode. Did I say something wrong? Are they mad? Maybe I'm annoying. And just like that, you're building an entire emotional crisis out of a 2-minute delay. The Stoics warned us about this exact thing. Epictetus said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." And he's right. It's rarely what actually happens that stresses us. It's the way we interpret it. Your boss doesn't reply to your email? Boom, you're fired in your head. Someone looks at you strangely in the gym. Now you're convinced they hate you, but none of it is real. It's just your mind creating a drama where there might be none at all. And here's the thing, overthinking isn't reflection. It's fear in disguise. It's trying to predict every outcome so you never get hurt. But life doesn't work that way. The more you try to control the future with your thoughts, the more you lose control of the present. One powerful Stoic trick is to simply ask, what do I actually know for sure? Most times the answer is, not much. The gap between reality and your thoughts, that's where anxiety lives. So next time you catch yourself spiraling, pause and remind yourself, I don't need to make a movie in my mind. I just need to be present in this scene. And listen, this isn't about shaming yourself. It's about becoming aware, because once you see the pattern, you can stop feeding it. Tell me in the comments, have you ever caught yourself spiraling with thoughts that led nowhere? And how did you pull yourself out of it? Your practical takeaway. Practice noticing. When a thought pops up, ask, is this helpful? If it's not, you don't owe it your energy. You deserve a mind that works with you, not against you. And the Stoics, they knew mastering your mind is the first step to mastering your life. Now let's move to habit number 2. And if you're someone who hates disappointing others, this one might hit close to home. People pleasing. On the surface, it looks kind, it looks polite. Saying yes even when you're tired, smiling when you're annoyed, agreeing just to keep the peace. But deep down, every time you say yes to someone else, when your heart is screaming no, you're saying no to yourself. You start shaping your life based on what others expect, not what actually matters to you. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it." Simple, right? But try applying that in a world where everyone wants something from you. It's not easy. Here's a real moment to think about. Ever agreed to go out when you really needed rest? Nodded along, in a conversation, just to avoid rocking the boat. You leave those situations drained, resentful, and honestly, more disconnected from yourself. The Stoics weren't against kindness. They just believed in integrity over approval, doing the right thing, even if no one claps for it. And the truth is, you can be a kind person without becoming a doormat. You can be generous without being a human sponge for everyone else's problems. Tell me in the comments, have you ever said yes when your whole body wanted to say no? I'd really love to hear how you handled it. So, what's the practical shift here? Try this. Next time you're about to say yes, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this from love or from fear? If it's fear, fear of judgment, rejection, or conflict, maybe the answer should be no. Because here's the Stoic truth. You're not here to live someone else's idea of a good life. You're here to live yours, grounded in your own values, not their expectations. Setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's self-respect, and that's a habit worth keeping. Let's get into habit number 3, and this one's everywhere in modern life. Avoiding discomfort. Now look, I get it. Comfort is easy, it feels good. Why take the stairs when there's an elevator? Why have that hard conversation when you can just smile and pretend everything's fine? But here's the real problem. Every time you avoid discomfort, you reinforce the idea that you're not strong enough to handle it. Seneca, one of the most practical Stoics, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And man, that hits, because most of the time, the thing we're avoiding isn't even that bad. It's just awkward, or tiring, or inconvenient. But we turn it into this monster in our heads. So we scroll instead of speaking up. We procrastinate instead of starting. We stay silent instead of being honest. And over time, comfort becomes a trap. Here's a small but real example. Cold showers. Yeah, they suck. But the second you do one, you realize you didn't die. You actually feel more awake, more alive. That's what facing discomfort does. It wakes you up. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean you should go looking for pain like a Spartan. But it does mean we need to stop running from it like it's toxic. Because the more you avoid discomfort, the more fragile you become. Tell me honestly in the comments, when was the last time you chose the harder option, even when no one was watching? I'd love to know. Here's a little Stoic practice to flip this around. Next time you feel discomfort creeping in, whether it's boredom, fear, or just a tough decision, pause. Remind yourself, this is training. Every uncomfortable moment is like lifting a mental weight. The more you face them, the stronger you get. So don't run from discomfort. Use it. Let it sharpen you, not shrink you. Because the Stoics weren't just philosophers, they were warriors of the mind. And this world, it doesn't need more comfort zombies. It needs people who can stand in the storm and still breathe. We're now at habit number 4, and this one is tough. Not because it's complicated, but because almost all of us do it without even realizing. Escaping emotions with distractions. Think about it. You feel anxious, so you open your phone. You feel lonely, so you scroll through Instagram. You feel stressed, so you binge a show, order junk food, and zone out until the feeling disappears. But it doesn't really disappear, does it? It just gets buried. The Stoics believed we shouldn't run from emotions, but face them directly. Not to drown in them, but to understand and master them. That's a big difference. Most people think Stoicism means shutting off feelings, but it's the opposite. It's about choosing your response, not letting emotions hijack your mind. Let's be real. How many times have you reached for your phone, not because you needed it, but because you didn't want to sit with a hard feeling? You're not alone. We've all done it. It's a coping mechanism, but over time, it becomes a prison. You never build emotional strength if you always run from emotional discomfort. And like Seneca said, nothing to my way of thinking is better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company. If you can't sit quietly with yourself without numbing, scrolling, or escaping, then your peace isn't really yours. It belongs to the next notification. So try this. The next time you feel something uncomfortable rising, don't reach for the nearest escape. Pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Naming it is powerful. Facing it, even more so. Let me ask you something. How do you usually distract yourself when things feel off? Be honest in the comments. I'd really love to know. And here's your takeaway. The feeling you're avoiding isn't the enemy. Avoidance is. Because once you realize you can feel sad and still be okay. You can feel angry and not act on it. You can feel lonely and still love yourself. That's when you start becoming unshakable. The Stoics didn't try to be robots. They tried to be free. Free from emotional slavery. Free from reacting without thinking. And that starts by staying present when it's hardest to do so. And now we've reached habit number 5, and honestly, this one's louder today than ever before. Constantly seeking validation. It sounds harmless, wanting approval, wanting recognition, wanting to be liked. But when your worth depends on it, you hand over your peace to the world. Let's be real. You post something on social media, and within minutes you're checking, did anyone like it yet? You get a compliment, you feel amazing. But the next day, silence, and suddenly, you're doubting yourself again. This is emotional slavery. You become addicted to outside noise to feel okay inside. Marcus Aurelius saw this centuries ago. He wrote, "Ambition means tying your well-being to what other people say or do. Sanity means tying it to your own actions." He wasn't saying you shouldn't care at all what others think, but he was saying, don't depend on it, because the crowd is fickle. And if they made you, they can break you just as fast. You ever notice how the compliments never last? One moment you're flying high, and the next, one tiny bit of silence or a weird look or someone unfollowing you, and your mood crashes. That's not freedom. That's being emotionally outsourced. Let me ask you, do you think social media has made us validation addicts? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're navigating it. Here's a mindset shift. Straight from the Stoics, what if your worth came from your character, not your image? What if you started measuring success by how you live privately, not by how people react publicly? You get to choose what defines you. Not algorithms, not applause, not silence. Next time you do something brave or kind or creative, don't wait for a pat on the back. Just pause and say to yourself, that was the right thing to do. And that's enough. Because the more your peace depends on you, the less the world can shake you. And in a culture built on likes and follows, that kind of self-grounding? That's revolutionary. The Stoics didn't chase approval. They chased virtue. And you can, too. So there you have it. 5 habits that seem so innocent on the surface, but when left unchecked, they slowly chip away at your peace, your strength, and your sense of who you really are. Here's the thing. You're not broken for having these habits. We all do. Every single one of them is part of being human. But the difference is, you're aware of them now. And that awareness, that's the start of freedom. The Stoics didn't teach us to be perfect. They taught us to pay attention, to respond instead of react, to live by values, not impulses, to remember that peace doesn't come from outside. It comes from how you choose to live, moment by moment. So take this as an invitation, not a pressure. You don't need to fix everything overnight. But maybe today you say no to something that drains you. Maybe you sit with a tough feeling instead of running. Maybe you just breathe before you spiral. That's Stoicism in action. That's progress. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future insights on Stoicism. And before you go, which of these 5 habits hit home the hardest for you? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, take care of your mind and protect your peace.